morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Dan Fazio joining us for Momentum Monday.
I'm here. I'm here.
How are you,
We're back.
sir? You had a nice extended weekend?
Um, yeah, it was no, it was good. Good. It's chill. Today's a little bit rough. Today's a little bit rough. I didn't make it back home last night till about 2 a.m. So
Mm.
had some issues, some issues getting back, but we're here.
Well, welcome back. We had some craziness happen over the second half of the week last week. I'm
That's what
looking
I
at
heard. That's what I heard.
looking at acquiring a $300,000 asset for 8 grand.
Wait, say that again. You're looking at acquiring a $300,000 in equity for 8 grand, or what would we, or just 300,000 in general?
So the house, I think fair market value is around $300,000. This is a veteran who needs to move. He's moving
Mm-hmm.
from Texas to New York, so he's got to move. He's on a time crunch,
So on a
and
VA loan.
he has a VA loan. After all expenses, closing costs, commissions, we think he'd probably walk away with 8 grand if everything was perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so we're offering him 8 grand to take over the payments on his 3.6% interest rate.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
And it is a 4-3 3,100 square foot home with solar panels.
Solar panels are that's a killer.
He owns them.
Oh, he owns the solar panels. Oh, well, could be good. Could be great then. Could be great. Save you a lot of money. You could actually offer a discount, I guess, then to the power, on the power bill to a tenant. Could give high incentives for someone to move in there.
Mm. I think I want to move in there, Dan.
Oh, you thinking about taking the house? Like, where is this house?
This house is in Killeen, Texas.
Oh, okay, 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 okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Familiar with the area.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's. I'm not sure it's a place you'd want to live, but it's not a place that I'd want to live personally. But I mean, uh, yeah, it's close to Austin, so
Seems like a
I guess
beautiful
you guess
house.
I mean, it could be a great out. So let me ask you, how much equity would you be getting if you took over this where it's at right now? How much does he have left owed on the balance, and then of what you're taking over?
Matt said 40K plus in equity.
40K plus in equity, or he owes 40 of over 40,000.
He owes 261,000 and some change.
Got
The
it.
principal balance was, I believe, like 270,000 some change. Um,
Okay.
yeah, so it's worth about 300. I think with those solar panels, if they, because he does own them free and clear, I really do think that does add value to a house if it's owned free and clear.
Hmm.
So I think maybe it is worth like 315, which is his estimate, but I think realistically it'd sell 300. Though I don't know, man. What's crazy is, Dan, the night before
Hmm.
this happened, I was praying
Hmm.
on it. I was really praying on it. We were praying on it, and I asked God to really give me a house. And the next day, this opportunity presents itself. I know it might not be, the most uh, amazing area or whatever. A couple people have said it's not really the nicest area to be in. But man, like,
I'm not sure it's an area I see John Johnson living in. That's the only thing. That's
you,
the only thing
what's crazy?
that's tough.
What's crazy as of lately, man. John Johnson is just kind of want to not be moving around so much. I kind of want to lock in somewhere for the next couple years and just like do the same thing over and over again. Like this lifestyle of traveling around,
Mm.
it's really cool for like a year, maybe two,
Yeah.
but then after that, it's like okay, well, I need to have some sort of stability. Like if I can make this like a base and have a place
Hmm.
that is my own, I feel like that would be
Yeah, you could just
ideal.
travel. Yeah, travel whenever you want. I mean, you can go somewhere and stay for. I mean, it's like you know how to travel effectively and affordably, and a lot of people don't know how to do that, right? Like I don't really know how to do that. So that's a skill set I think right there where you know how to like you know get around and learn languages and move. Like that's not a skill set that a lot of people possess. So I think that you have something just in that. But I think the whole factor is I think you're growing up, man. You're growing up.
I
You know
am
what I mean?
growing
Like
up, man. That's what's happening, bro, and it's crazy because it's like reality's really starting to hit me. It's like, damn, I really like there were some habits that I had to let go of, really, truly. Like I'm only locked in on Discord, and that's the only social media platform you're gonna see me on for a while.
Mhm.
Because it's just I don't have time for that other shit. I don't have the capacity to be on all this shit and like also be
Mhm.
present in real life. And I don't know if a lot of people really talk about that shit,
Right.
but yo, I just even because look, man, like I was so unaware about like just my habit of just like opening my phone and immediately like checking Instagram for no reason. And it
Didn't I tell you that? I told you that when you were here with me.
You
Didn't
did,
I tell
yeah,
you?
but it didn't
Yes.
it didn't hit me, Dan, until like it
Yeah.
really hit me. You know what I'm saying? It really hit me. And I was like, damn, this is affecting my life. Like this is affecting my ability to work productively, and this is affecting like other areas and other aspects of my life. And I just don't want. I would not trade the other aspects of my life for Instagram by any means.
Mhm.
Especially for keeping up with people I don't even give a fuck about. To be honest,
Right.
the people I care about are here in Discord. To be honest with you, the people I care about are here in the community, and I'm rooting for all of them. But strangers online talking, it's all the same bullshit anyway. It's all the same
Right.
bullshit. Everybody's saying the
Right.
same thing. They just want. It's all
Right.
like this one narrative, different avatars with the same fucking message, and it's repetitive. So I mean, I know I'm not missing out on anything. I don't think anybody really is. That gets off of Instagram. But I know for a fact that people are missing out because they're not in REI Revolution, ladies and gentlemen. How many of us have invited somebody to be a part of this revolution?
I have. I've invited a lot of people to be a part of this place.
Oh, yeah. We appreciate you all for taking time out of your day, to bring somebody in here to offer them the opportunity to really make some of them themselves listen. It's so important to be a part of these calls. The other day when when I was telling you about that deal, I'm gonna make a
Hmm.
ping real quick here. Talking. I might lock up a 300K house for 8K. Everyone. Okay, so here's the deal. That conversation that I had with the seller, underwriting the deal, Matt getting
Hmm.
on the phone, talking to the seller, all of it was
Hmm.
happening live in here. And so
No, I saw that.
I thought I was live streaming it, and I thought that I was recording the audio, and it looked like I was. And it come to find out, I watched the replay. There's no audio. You cannot hear Matt. So
Yeah.
it's stuff like that. Like you have to be here. Like when we don't just ping anybody for any reason. Like we only ping people when it's really important and when there's really like 10K worth value like in these calls. And every single time that we get up here, every single time that we meet in the morning, Monday through Friday, 11:30 a.m., those calls are really worth $10,000, $15,000 every single time because you might hear one gem that puts you in a new perspective, a new headspace that when you get on the phone the next time with the seller, you're prepared for that conversation. And now you're in a position where you could turn that conversation into a $15,000, $20,000 check.
Yeah.
So,
No, I had I did my mastermind call on Friday that I do. I did it from the beach,
Hmm.
and I did this Friday. It just so happened that someone asked a question,
Yeah.
and I just started just firing off like it went from like just one simple question to me literally like giving a whole business breakdown. So like the people that were in there on Friday literally got like a whole workshop on like really how to structure your business with employees effectively. And I had people messaging me being like, hey man, like couldn't make it to Friday's call. Like, is there any way I could like get it back or hear a recording or whatever? And I was like, dude, like, that's why it's so important. You got to show up, I mean, to certain things. You don't know what you're going to miss. You don't know what you're going to. So it's just like, I don't ever know what's going to drop in those calls. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? It's just like the same thing for these live streams. It's like you might not want to show up like every single day to like the live stream that I do at 3 o'clock calling sellers, but like you don't know who I'm going to get on the phone with that day. Like you don't know who I'm going to get on the phone with, like, later that, what I mean? Like you don't
Yep.
know what's going to happen. So
Because
it's
it's
like,
live, it's real. It's not scripted. It's all real.
yeah, right. So it's just like I think a lot of people like they just want like I think they just want the clips and the action and this and that, but like the reality is not really like rooted in like just the clips
The
and
highlights.
highlights,
Yep.
right? But
Yep.
like the whole problem I think is the fact of what you touched on is the factor of um the social media thing right now, especially when TikTok came out and then kind of changed the game with like shorts and reels and clips and this and that. Like
Hmm.
people's attention spans became like, oh, I don't want to see like I just want to see the highlights, right? Like I
Right.
don't have time to listen to like every aspect of it. And sometimes the detail and the gold is really in the little things that you're not really paying attention to that much, especially when it comes to business, right? It's like so many people I've realized so many people come into my live stream when I go live at 3 o'clock and they just listen to the seller calls and they just get hyped up off the seller calls and they just want to be in when someone pings them when I'm talking to a seller when we shoot out a ping of like, hey, Dan's locking up a deal, like they jump in real quick or whatever. But the real gold of what I'm actually giving you all in the call is how I actually break down my tasks and timeline inside of the call, what I'm doing. And that's the stuff that people aren't even paying attention to, but that's the real goal because that's what leads to the call that you guys like to see and would like to replicate. How we got to that call and that action is the little details and the little things that you all didn't care to pay attention to or you all didn't care to like actually sit through and want to see. So, and then people wonder why they can't get to that. You didn't, you weren't doing the little things that require it for you to get there. But they don't care about those things. And I think the major factor of why they don't care is because YouTube and TikTok and Instagram all made us only care about like the exciting stuff. Oh, is he talking to us? Oh, yeah, he's not talking to anybody right now. He's not doing this, that. It's like, well, how about you copy what I'm doing? How about you copy exactly my repetitive and my exact process of what I'm doing? And I know you guys aren't. I know you guys aren't listening because you guys ask me questions that I'm literally answering with my actions every single day. So I know you guys aren't paying attention. So listen to what I'm saying right now. Anybody in here can ask John how I operate my day. Every piece of my day is like utilized in some way, broken down into some way. Like John lived with me for I don't even know what it's like a month almost. So every factor of my day is broken down into something. And my whole point of doing this live stream is to show you guys like you don't have to have a whole day. If you have a W-2 job, you don't need to have the entire day to get a deal, right? That's why I'm only working on this stuff from the time that I start the live stream to the time that I end the live stream. I don't work on the deals outside of there. I don't work on the leads outside of there because some of you might not have the availability, but I guarantee you, everybody in here got at least 2.5 hours. Even if you're working a W-2 job, I guarantee you have at least 2.5 hours in your day. So watch what I'm doing every single day and break down the little things, right? Replicate that, because that's how we got to those calls. It's how we get to those contracts, right? Like, but that's the stuff that you aren't even paying attention to. That's the stuff you guys don't even notice, and that's the problem.
Yeah, I think it was a big wake up call for me. That's no cap. I also think, sometimes I gotta learn things the hard way too. Like I that's just how I learn, man. And people might be able to give me advice and shit, but sometimes I don't learn unless I make the mistake. And
I think that changes as you get older. Like as you kind of, there's one point where you're just like, okay, I'm tired of, because I used to be like that. I used to be like that as well, right? Like my dad used to give me advice and it all come out true. And I used to be like, I just couldn't do it my way. But the reality of it is like eventually at some point you just get tired of learning shit the hard way, and you're like, no, to really get to that next level, I need to start taking advice, paying, not, and then eventually you guys are going to get to a point where you guys are going to start paying for advice. You're going to start paying for big money for advice, and because you want to listen, right? I got to a point in my life just recently where I was like, you know what? No, I'm tired of acting like I know everything. I don't, right? Because you can easily get caught up on the fact of like, I can come in here with a lot of you guys, and I'm at a certain level doing what I'm doing. You know what I mean? But like, I don't want to get too caught up on the factor of like I'm a master at business or what I'm doing, right? I got to make sure I don't get too caught up on that, right? I want to make sure that I still remember that I still have so much farther to go. So while you guys are all in here listening to me, joining the live stream, being around me, being around John, being in his community, like that's really great for you all, but it's not really great for me, because although I love and it feels great to me to give value back and to help you all succeed in your businesses and help you guys learn and everything, I don't learn. I'm not learning anything at that moment. I maybe learn how to be a better teacher, how to be a better, mentor, how to be a better guider, but I don't, that doesn't do anything for me and my growth. So I have to make sure that I'm around people that are doing better than me. And, part of that for me was actually paying for some to be around those people. Like that was a big thing for me. And I was just like, hey, man, I'm just gonna, I really want to be here. I don't, I'm not sure that I know how to get there like I thought I did, and I'm not gonna keep taking chances. So I'm just gonna go ahead and invest and believe in myself and believe that this is the right way. And I'm just gonna go invest this money, and I'm going to listen to the advice that comes out of this investment. I'm actually going to listen this time, and I'm going to quit pretending. And that's, so far in my life, that's the best thing that I've done for myself so far, was stop and actually just start to listen. And then I listen. And here's the big one. Here's the big one that a lot of you guys don't do. A lot of you guys are listening. A lot of you guys are listening right now. A lot of you guys listen to me at 3 o'clock. A lot of you guys listen to Matt Riley on Fridays. A lot of you guys listen to these, little cuts and calls that we do, but a lot of you are not applying. So the big thing is yeah, you it's good to open your ears and be a listener, but it's worth nothing if you don't actually go and apply. So that's the big one. I was like, I can't only just not, like, don't just don't listen to a podcast if you're not going to go and apply all the things that you listen to in that podcast that really opened your mind up. Don't waste your time reading a book about how to structure your business and how to do this or that, or how to apply this and that, if you're not going to go and actually apply what you learned in that book. Then that book is a waste of time. Then that podcast is a waste of time. Then that YouTube video that you spent your time doing was a waste of time. If you don't actually go and take what you learned and go apply it immediately, not like I'm going to go apply it tomorrow, not I'm going to go apply it next week, next month, next year. If you don't apply it, start figuring out immediately how to, I just listened to this, I just did this. If I don't listen, how do I apply it immediately? Then it's a waste of time. Whatever you just spent your time learning or doing, it was a waste of time. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that everything that you're doing putting your time into, that you're taking that time out of it and going forward. I made a rule for myself last year. I said, I can no longer have, this was last year. I said, I can no longer have meaningless conversations. Right? Like, it's okay to chop it up with your friends and have a good time and laugh. And I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about like when you sit around and you guys talk about ideas. If there's an idea that's presented in a meeting inside my company, if there's an idea that's presented inside of a meeting, inside of one of our board meetings, or inside of our corporation, or somebody says, hey, I have an idea, let's, and we all say, yeah, that sounds good. That could work. We get to work immediately. How do we apply it? 24 hours. If we all agree that we think it could be something, we get to work immediately. How many of you all have had conversations with people in here, inside of the clubhouse, inside of the workplace, inside of this live stream room? How many of you all have had conversations with people and you thought, yeah, that's some good advice, or yeah, I'd like to do that. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Or you come up with a great idea, or do this or that. Maybe you're having a conversation with some friends and you guys have some good ideas, and none of you actually go and try to apply those ideas onto paper. I guarantee you a lot of you guys have had those types of conversations. It's a waste of time, right? If you're going to talk about ideas and something clicks, go and apply that idea in as little as 24 hours. Try to start. You're not going to get it right away, but the idea is you got to start trying to go after it right away. Don't waste your time. Time is literally, it's slipping away.
It's very true. Man, that's so true, man. That's so true. And look, man, the reality is like you're gonna get to a spot as well. And this is what I hope for everybody in here. I hope that everybody in here gets to a spot where they are generating more leads than they can be on the phone with at a given time. And I hope that you allocate your time to get people on the phone to speak to those leads and work with you. That's where I want to see everybody get to. And that's the power of the community. You got all of these people that are eager to get on the phone. If you have the problem of too many leads, which is a great problem to have, that's when you start to get somebody to work with you. You offer an opportunity. And that's how the community can ultimately help everybody in here grow.
Listen, if you guys are in chat and you guys start talking about something, I don't know how many people I see in the chat on a daily basis say, I think I'm going to start doing bandit signs. And you talk to them in a month and they still haven't put up a damn sign. If that's your idea, fucking do it tomorrow. Go on the website today. Say, you know what? Hey, is anybody here doing bandit signs? Yeah. Does bandit signs work? And somebody responds yes. I don't give a fuck who it is. You need one yes to confirm your idea. Literally start going on the internet and searching, okay, how do I start doing bandit signs? How do I start putting stuff, where do I put them? How do I make them? Immediately. But I don't know how many people I've seen. Oh, I just want to make sure. I mean, I want to ask a couple more people. How many confirmations do you need? How many confirmations do you need? You don't need that many. You need one person. When you ask a question, hey, you guys think this is a good idea? I'm thinking about doing this. Does this work for anybody else? Yeah, that's what I'm doing. It's working for me. Boom. Who else do you need to talk to? You don't need 50 people inside the chat to confirm what you're feeling. Just get to work. I mean, if it was just a question, you just wanted to know something, I mean, just immediately get rolling. Don't worry about how many people that you need to make. Well, I just want to make sure before I waste my money. It's like, dude, business is a waste of money. You're going to waste money. You're going to make mistakes. That's how you learn. There is no other way. There is no like somebody's going to give you a blueprint that's 100% effective and say, do this, and that, and it's going to work 100%. It's going to make you a millionaire.
I'll tell you this, Dan.
No.
When you spend $275 to get on the phone with somebody, that conversation is a different type of conversation. You walk
different type of conversation.
You walk into that conversation a different type of person. You are the closer when you pay $200, $300 to get on the phone with somebody. You are the closer. There's no other option.
You'll get that contract.
You have to get that contract.
You'll find a way to make money off that contract.
Hey, if it's not cash, it's gonna be creative. All right.
Yeah, it'll be something. You'll say, I gotta get a realtor referral. Can I do something with this? Right? Because you have time invested. You have
Time
money
and money.
invested.
And that's another thing. I got on the phone at what, 10 p.m. my time, 8 p.m. Texas time, because I got a text message late at night from a lady that wanted to sell her property in Texas, and I figured, okay, well, I'm gonna hop in here, do a quick live. That call lasted an hour. I think I made some substantial progress with that seller, and I think what's gonna set me apart from anybody else that has maybe spoken to her or sent her a letter is that I was able to listen to her. Somebody asked John, well, why were you so patient on that call? I said, if you knew that by the end of this you would make $20,000, how long would you stay on that call? Matter of fact, let's change what position you ask that question. If you were the seller choosing who you're gonna pay $20,000 or give $20,000 worth of equity to, how long would you want to be on that call? You don't want to be on that call for 10 minutes and give away 20 grand.
No.
And all the times, these sellers try to hop off the phone or say, something's going on. Listen, these are real sellers with real people problems. Real problems. They can't navigate their life. That's why they're trying to fill out some form to get some sort of help online. And you got to be the one to step into their reality and be that solution, be that resource. And you should have seen it. I didn't live stream this. I did record it, but I didn't live stream it. I had her write down my name. I told her to rip it out of the book she had and stick it on her fridge. Get a magnet and put this piece of paper on your fridge. Because I want to be at the top of her mind when she goes to the fridge. Of course she's going to go to the fridge. Everybody goes to the refrigerator. So every time she passes that refrigerator, I want her to see John Johnson, real estate resource. Big, bold letters.
I like that.
But this is exciting. I got another call. That's why I think it's so important, ladies and gentlemen, to go off market and go direct to seller. Because these are the types of individuals that you need to develop a skill set to be able to help. It's not the people that are on market. It's not really, for the most part, the people that have their properties listed on Zillow. It can be, AB has had massive success doing the for sale by owner thing. It's not really my thing. I think it's more of like a hustle than a business. But if you can predictably invest money into getting people on the phone, getting leads, hot leads on the phone, that's where scalability comes into play. And that's where you have to develop a skill set that's going to put you ahead of everybody else. Because I can't even tell you, how many people have spent money to get on the phone with somebody, and because they don't have the ability to think creatively, they don't have these different acquisition strategies or disposition strategies, they can't do anything with that lead. Whereas somebody like me, who has access to the number one most valuable real estate community in existence, I know that if I can get on the phone with somebody who needs to sell in the next 30 to 45 days, I will have a solution for that seller. I can't say the same for the people that have their properties listed and you're offering them 50 cents on the dollar. I'm not sure how that's a solution to their problem.
Listen, I think to everybody, I think this is to everybody. I'd love to see this happen to everybody. I think don't get caught up on quick money. Don't get caught up on that. I would love to see everybody in this room. I think wholesaling is great. Don't get me wrong. And I think it can be scalable, and I think it can be, because I've done it, and I think it can be repetitive to a certain degree. But what I would love to see from everybody in this room is don't get caught up on the quick money checks. Invest in property as soon as you can.
That's what I was saying, man. That's why I don't want to let this one go.
Take those checks. Because listen, we got 56 people in this room right now. If everybody in this room not only is wholesaling, but also buying. Right now, we have a room of 56 people that are all generating leads and all can buy leads, all can buy the deals as well. So now you have 56 buyers all across the United States. You have 56 people generating hundreds of leads a week. You have all these great things, right, that are now, that's the real power of this community. And that's what I would love to see it grow to. Is I would really love to see the whole factor of like everybody in here not only generating leads and deals, but selling those leads and deals to each other, building each other's portfolio, and getting that more money in that pocket. So hey, how much money do I need to allocate to pay my bills that need to be paid right now, and the rest goes into my first property, my next property, my third property, my fourth property. Don't wait to buy. Quit waiting on, if you get a check for 15K, don't say, "Oh, I got 15K to spend." No, you don't have 15K to spend. How much money do you need to pay right now to take care of, whatever it is that you need to take care of? Right? You got some debt, you got some things. What's going on? Can people not hear? People can't hear?
Let's hop off the stage, hop back on. Let's see, or I'll reconnect. Can y'all hear me?
Can you guys hear?
Everybody's saying yep, perfect. Wonderful.
But continue. I think the whole thing is just like, you gotta get to that the whole factor of like, take that 15. If your expenses are 15,000, you're living too high. If you're making 15 and you have to spend 15, then you need to readjust. You need to reevaluate and say, really, how much money do I really need to spend right now? I mean, if you're a single individual without kids, without a wife, without a husband, without any of those things, you don't need to be spending any. 5K a month is excessive, truthfully. Like, you don't need to have rent 10, 15, 20, $30,000. You need to have, your payment to live should be less than $5,000 a month. And that's going to be living.
That's all things included?
Well. That's everything included. I'm saying everything included. And then take that 10K and say, what kind of property can I buy with 10K? Maybe get a sub 2, maybe use this as a down payment on, getting my first flip, maybe get a bigger check. What can I do to start investing in property right now? So I can start building that portfolio.
The other thing is, don't wait. Like you're saying, do not wait. I don't think it's a good idea. I've talked to so many people that have been doing this business for so long, wholesaling for so long. And the number one regret that they always tell me is that they didn't start buying property sooner.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's when I see an opportunity like this. And, I was talking to Matt about this. I'm like, damn, I really think that I should not take the quick money on this, even if it's appealing, or I could make $500 a month or whatever on a wrapped note or something like that. Why not just build equity, pay off that loan, go live there? It's $2K a month. I think that I can definitely come up with I know I can come up with $2,000 a month. I've got the money. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's a better opportunity to own an asset and to buy a house for less than 10 grand, a $300,000 house for less than 10 grand. That's less than 3% on that house. And I would own a $300,000 asset, be in my name. I don't know when the next time that opportunity is going to present itself.
No, I think. Listen, you got to pay it to the IRS either way. If you don't spend it on your business, if you don't spend it in equity, because listen, here's the thing: is if you go out and spend $5,000 on dinner, clothes, this and that, you still owe the IRS whatever money that you made. You still owe them their cut if you don't spend it on anything related to your business. right? But if you
Sure.
took that $5 or $10,000 and you put that $10,000 into an asset, now you get depreciation, and then you get that taken off of your taxes. But guess what? You also get equity back on that. So it's not money in your bank account, but it's better. Equity is better. I would argue that equity in a company or a house or an asset is better than money in your bank account, because guess what? You can borrow against equity tax free. You can't borrow against money in your own bank account because it's your money, and all the money inside your bank account, then that's being targeted by inflation, and it's also being targeted by the IRS. So it's your choice, right? If you would rather give that money to, you would let it sit in there and you just want to pay the IRS, and you're just Mr. America, and you want to give, the money back to, the government because you think they're doing such a great job with it. I mean, that go
Well,
ahead.
also the government is incentivizing you to play by the rules they create,
That's true.
and that's another reason why I do think that it'd be a good idea to hold on to this one, Dan, because
Well, they're
I'd
not
finally have something to
incentivizing.
claim
They have to
depreciation on.
have those rules in there because they all want to play by those rules. So
That's
that's the
true.
whole reason that they have them in there, is because they want to utilize the rules. So that's why they keep those rules in there. So they want you all, though, to play by their rules, but they're going to play by their rules over here. It's like if you decide to play by their rules and use the tax codes, then therefore you can actually start to really build a lifestyle outside of where everybody else lives. But they want you to live how everybody else is living. But they
Hey,
have all these things in there to keep their wealth. So you might as well take advantage of it while it's there.
oh, I certainly will be. I think like you said, it's a really good idea. Um, I think that realistically, I just think it's the best idea. And I have a lot. Listen, I got a lot to learn about taxes. For anybody that's in here, I'm working with David Zachary. That guy's an absolute stud. He's getting me, correct, and he's offering service to everybody in here, to stay on top of your taxes, manage your business, accounting, that kind of stuff. So if you haven't already, definitely make sure that you reach out to David. Absolute stud. Um, I know there's a lot of different tax incentives, to owning property in terms of depreciation, all that stuff. I have a lot to learn. I am curious to learn. I want to learn more. But from what I have heard and the limited knowledge that I do have, I think that it would be a good idea to hold this property at least for this year, because I would be able to claim depreciation in the upcoming tax season.
No, yeah, I truthfully think that you gotta. I think in the beginning, though, each of you, if you're really gonna make this a business, if this is really gonna be that thing that you want, you gotta treat it like a business. And I think you want to keep everything in the very beginning as simple as possible. Don't be spending a whole lot of microtransactions and doing this and that outside of your business, in your business. What I mean, keep it all really consolidated, meaning like, pay yourself a little bit, as little as you possibly can out of your business to start with, and then have that money cover all of your expenses as a personal individual. And then on top of that, what you want to do is you want to utilize the rest of that money to now, go and put money into marketing
Yes.
or put money into, properties, but keep that money really consolidated. And then you just have all, but don't be buying little tiny little things that you, not in the very beginning, that your accountant has to kind of tear apart. Don't be trying to say, oh, I can take my wife out to dinner and this, yeah, technically you can, but just keep it consolidated,
Hey,
like
that's something I'm gonna be
truthfully.
working on. I'm gonna make sure that I like you said, man. I was thinking about that. It's like I tell myself I really want to be hitting 100K per month. That's my goal. It's been my goal since I started. but I got to really be in alignment, with the books and keeping track of things, the organization, because that's ultimately what I think is going to be able to put me in a position where I really do deserve to manage that kind of income, 100K per month. So without that, I can only get, what I can get. And I've still done very well for myself. First year of real business, I've cleared 6 figures. So that's great. Um, but with that being said, you know, I've got to make sure that I'm on top of my game, and I'm excited to work with David Zachary and Zachary Scott PA, for that aspect of the business, and you know, like I said, this dude is a stud. I highly suggest people go and work with him, and stay on top of all of your books. It's very important. But man, I really think this is going to be a good opportunity. I know that I'm excited. I'm eager to get on the phones. I've got people to call today. I'm going to be putting people on the phone today. Um, things are looking really good. And just know, ladies and gentlemen, when you truly do develop this skill and you get to a point where you are confident and competent enough that if you get on the phone with somebody who does want to sell, you will be able to perform, you will be able to get them under contract. Your number one problem is going to be getting on the phone with that individual. And the solution to that problem is spending more money in marketing. That's it. You can buy those leads, you can get that access, you can skip the line if you have the money. So hustle. If you got no money, get that money, invest that money back into marketing like SMS. It's a great way to get in front of multiple people. It does still take a little bit of time to work those leads. But once you've gotten to a point where you have the money to spend that money on PPC. Get the inbound leads. All roads lead to PPC. Brent said it perfectly when I was in Phoenix. He told me, John, the bottom line is all roads lead to PPC. All roads lead to inbound marketing. And that's the reality of the situation that we're in today, ladies and gentlemen. We want to be on the phone with people that want and need our help. So we need to prepare ourselves for those conversations when those opportunities are presented to us. And we need to be prepared to have those conversations and lock those deals up under contract. And on top of that, I just want to say for everybody that's in here, you don't have to know all the answers. You just need to be able to diagnose the seller's problem. And just like I did the other day with Matt, we did a whole live stream on underwriting that deal. And for the people that were in that live stream, I know that was at least a $20,000 masterclass that we did live there. I mean, I'd be walking into that house with potentially 40K plus in equity off rip. So call it what you want, man. The people that show up to these calls, they get just incredible value. There's nobody else doing it, ladies and gentlemen. This is the number one most valuable real estate community in existence. I don't say that because it sounds nice. I say that because it's a fact. But with that being said, I'm ready to hit the phones. How you feeling, Dan?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm ready to get back to work.
Who's ready to get to work?
I got in at 2 a.m. last night, got up at 6:30 this morning, got right to work. Ready to get back to it.
What Celsius you have today?
What's it called? Arctic Vibe.
Okay.
Arctic Vibe.
Mr. Matt Riley knows a little something about that.
He's a Celsius connoisseur.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the number one most valuable real estate community in existence. If you haven't already, please consider inviting somebody you think will benefit from being in proximity with us. Send them that link, discord.gg/REIRev. Send them to reirev.com. Guys, you've got to be a part of this community. This community is what is going to take you from where you are at today to being in a position where you can acquire millions of dollars worth of assets for tens of thousands of dollars out of pocket. Seriously. This community right here, do not sleep on this opportunity. I don't believe that things happen just for whatever reason. I believe everything happens for a reason. I believe each and every single one of you that show up and decide to show up on a daily basis are here because you have been chosen. You have chosen this path for yourself and that you deserve this life. So keep that in mind every single time that you feel like things are getting more difficult. You're getting stronger. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's Momentum Monday. Let's build some momentum. Let's hop on the phones and let's crush this day. I'll catch you guys here later. Dan will be back at 3 p.m. Happy Massive Chat, y'all.
Peace.
Take care.